And then once more, just come to swaying from side to side. And we'll repeat that movement again. As we come to the centre, lift and roll your shoulders. Inhaling, arms up, clasp, reverse your palms upwards, press your feet down. Breathing out to one side, breathing into the centre as you raise your palms upwards, and breathing out to the other side. Come to the centre. Breathing out, turn slightly to one side. Come to the centre, and breathing out, turn to the other side. Come to the centre. Lower your hands to your waist. Elbows out. Breathing out, turn your head to look beyond one shoulder. Breathing in, come to the centre. And breathing out, turn and look beyond the other shoulder. And come to the centre. Lift your heels. Try our balance today, inviting the left and the right side of the brains to coordinate with one another. And then lower your feet back down to the ground. Release your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders again. And clasp your hands behind your back, aiming the knuckles to the ground. This opens your shoulders. Breathing out, turn to one side. I'm turning to my left. Breathe in, come to the centre. And breathing out, turn to the other side. And come to the centre. And then separate your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. And bringing your hands once more onto your waist. Feet slightly wider than hip width apart. As you bend your knees and your bottom goes away from you, you'll find that your abdominal control just slightly comes on. So in classic yoga, I'm not suggesting you do this, you would have your arms up into chair. But that's quite strong on the lower back. You can just raise and stay with your hands here. Press your feet down as you come up to standing. And then circle your hands upwards. Stretch your fingers out. And then circle your hands downwards. And once more, circle your hands up. Like sun rays stretching out, looking either ahead or up if your neck allows you to do this, and then circling your wrists down and your hands down. And then flick or open your fingers wide. It's very good for achy joints. And then just curl your fingers in. And flick your fingers out. Curl them in. And then flick your fingers out and curl them in. So also, strangely for achy joints, you can try just, I don't know if you can see me, lifting the heels, bouncing the heels up. You're lifting them and bringing them back to the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And last one, 1, 2, 3. That vibration sends an energy from the soles of the feet right the way up to the top of the head. So if there's any stiffness, which is often due to toxins that are accumulating in the body, particularly if anybody is having medication, but that goes some way to circulating, making sure the blood is beginning to circulate around. So if you've got your chairs handy, I'm going to invite you to come and sit on your chair. Be comfortable and just extending one foot up to the ceiling and then pointing the foot away from you. You can rest your hands on your thighs or on the chair side Breathing in, your heel goes up, and breathing out, your toes point away from you. Breathing in, toes up, and breathing out, toes away. And then begin to circle the ankle in one direction. Breathing in again as the toes go up, and breathing out as the toes go down. And then change your direction so that your foot circles in the opposite direction. And then stretch your toes out. And if you're not going to give yourself cramp, just either relax them or curl them inwards. That curling of the toes inwards, stretching the top of the foot, activates the lymph system in reflexology on the foot. So just almost slightly bending the foot can activate that response. And then turn your foot slightly outwards, that's an evert movement. Bring your foot to centre and just turn your ankle or your foot slightly in towards your midline. And then just very gently place your hands under your thigh and just let the foot swing, so it makes or allows the knee to swing, which lubricates the knee joint. So again, we're going to be journeying through some of our joints, but seated. And it's joints that can accumulate. It's through the joints we can get stiffness. So just freeing off the joints allows energy to move and hopefully de-stiffen and help with aches and pains. And then supporting the foot as you place it down and bringing your attention to the other foot. So again, have your hands resting either on your thighs or on your chair, and inhaling, your toes go up, and breathing out, your toes go down away from you. Inhaling, toes up, and breathing out, toes away from you. Breathing in, toes up, and breathing out, toes away. And then very gently start to circle your other ankle in one direction. So these foot movements are all designed to boost your circulation, but you've got a number of meridians, energy meridians, that are in the foot, and hence reflexology. So you're activating these energy meridians running through your entire body, through the major organs. Reverse your foot in the other, or turn your foot in the other direction. And so by the simple movement of activating your foot, you're boosting your circulation. And these exercises are fantastic if you're travelling or you're stuck somewhere for a long time. And then open your toes, stretching them. Where the toes join the foot is at the base of that is the lung meridian energy, but also you're opening your sinuses as you stretch your toes out as well. And then either relax the foot or curl your toes inwards as long as you don't get cramp, activating that lymph flow system again. And then again, just spread your toes and then just either relax or curl them under. And then coming to the invert or evert action again. So toe goes slightly outwards away from the midline of the body, and then centre, and then the toe or the foot goes to the inside. So that's the invert action. And you'll find, just do that again once more either side, that activates your ankle in a slightly different direction. And then dropping your hands underneath your thigh to pick the foot up and just very gently circle and swing your foot. You can circle if you want to, but just swinging is enough to lubricate the knee joint. And then place your foot down. So you'll all be very familiar with cat-cow. We normally do it on our knees on the floor. But cat-cow can be also done sitting, can be done lying as well. So have your hands either on your thighs or you can hold your chair. Press down slightly, which has the effect of lengthening or elongating your spine. And then breathing out, lower abdomen comes in, so you engage your tummy slightly towards your spine. As you round, your chin comes to your chest. Breathing in, just lightly press your hands or palms of your hands down to lengthen you upwards. And breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Now, how much you get involved in this movement is up to you. You can press your hands down, lengthen the front of your body, and carry on that lengthening to lift your chin slightly and look up. And then as you breathe out, you can really round in chin to chest. You can engage your perineum slightly upwards so that you're engaging your lower Muladhara and Uddiyana Bandha, so you're just pulling up inside. Or you can just keep it as we come sitting upwards to a much more gentle movement. So how much you want to get involved in this very gentle cat-cow movement is up to you. So the lengthening of the body as we sit up and breathe in lifts the chest and gives space for all our organs. And then the rounding chin to chest creates space between the vertebrae, so the breath is encouraged towards our backs. The adrenals sitting on top of the kidneys, part of our stress response, are helped. Sitting up again, just carry on in your own time. Breathing in and out. You're warming the spine as you introduce gentle movement. I can hear my chair creaking, so if you can hear it, I am sorry. It's just, I don't know, I think WD-40. We're doing our own WD-40 on our backs as we just decreak it, sitting up and then rounding. The chin to chest movement activates the third bandha or energy seal called Jalandhara bandha, but it actually activates the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is very much implicated in this case, anti-inflammatory, so it's de-stressing. And you're stretching the back of your neck as you bring your chin forward, so you're allowing energy to flow up the spine, through the neck and into the head. So it becomes quite refreshing. And actually, if you take a break on your chair, even just doing this, you're refreshing your brain, you're refreshing your creative and focus and concentration, your creative energies. And then just come to a seated position. So we're going to do salute to the sun, but we're going to do seated salute to the sun. If you don't want to come forward very much, you've got a sliding scale of coming forward a little bit or coming forward a lot. So breathing in, raise your hands up. Stretch your fingers so that your thumb comes towards you and your little finger goes away from you. And breathing out, you can bend your elbows to bring your hands down to your thighs for this very first one. And then press your hands down to lengthen your spine and slide your hands forward, engaging your tummy in towards your abdomen, as little or as much as you like. So you can actually slide all the way down to the floor, chin to the chest. Breathing in, use your hands to slide up your body to upright. And then you can hold your chair to support you as you breathe in and lift. I'm going to lift my right foot as you do in salute to the sun, lengthening the right foot, extending the heel. Feel the muscles engage on either side of your legs, engaging your whole body support. Breathing out, lower that leg. And then breathing in, raise the other leg, extending the heel. And breathing out, lower that foot. Breathe in, sit up, and breathe out. So I'm going to take my left hand and place it across my body onto my right thigh. My right hand goes behind me and I just hold the chair. I breathe in, lengthening my body, and as I breathe out, I subtly turn as little or as much as I like. Your head is the last thing to turn. And stay here for an in and an out breath. Breathing in, come to the centre. Lightly place your hands onto your thighs or onto the chair to lengthen you. And breathing out, I'm bringing my right hand across my body to my left thigh. My left hand goes behind, I just hold my chair lightly. Breathing in, lengthening my body. And breathing out, gently turn. The head is the last thing to turn. You initiate the movement from the base of your spine. You only turn as much as you feel comfortable to do so. And stay here as you take an in and an out breath. And then very gently come back to the centre, either holding your knees or holding the chair. Breathe in, lift your chest, and there's the invitation to carry on lifting as you lift your chin slightly up. It's a controlled lift. Think of a cobra as it lengthens and raises up. And then breathing out, bring your head back to the centre. And breathing in, raising your arms up, stretch your fingers. And breathing out, lowering your hands back down, either to the sides of your chair or onto your thighs. So the next round that we're going to do is going to be slightly, you've got a choice. When you come forward, you can either, as we did before, bend your elbows and slide down. If you're quite strong in the core, and it depends where you are, if you're used to doing yoga, you can engage your abdominal muscles and just come straight down to the floor. I possibly suggest you might not do that. It depends very much on your core strength. So starting by breathing in and raising the hands up, stretching the fingers, and then breathing out, you can either come straight to the floor or we can take the gentle movement by bending the elbows, bringing the hands to the thighs and sliding the hands down, stopping where you feel is appropriate for you. Breathing in, either bring your hands straight up or slide your hands up once more. Breathing in, lengthen your body, and breathing out, turn. Hand goes across, so my left hand is going onto my right thigh and I'm turning to my right. Stay here for an in and out breath. Make sure your shoulder is away from your ear. Breathing in, come to the centre. Just lengthen your body. And breathing out, turn to the other side. Taking an in and an out breath here. And then come to the centre. And then breathing in, extend one foot. I'm going to extend my right foot. And lower the foot. And then breathing in, extend the other foot. Extend the heel. And lower the heel. And then either holding the chair or your thighs, sitting up, lifting at the sternum. And carry on like your cobra, lifting your chin if that's appropriate. You can raise your eyes. Breathing out, come back to the centre. And breathing in, raising your arms up, stretching your fingers. And breathing out, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. And then placing your hands either on your thighs or on the chair. I would suggest thighs actually. Just start to swirl, make little circles. Not very big at all. Imagine circling around a pole and put your pole as a spine. So this is beginning to swirl your abdominal energy. We'll just reverse the other way. If you feel that you want to increase your circle, then please do. You can also place your hands on your waist, which kind of encourages a bigger swirl. And although this is a seated movement, a lot of people prefer to do this when they're standing. Just swirl the other way. And I'm going to invite you to stand and repeat this movement by standing. So come to standing however that's appropriate for you. And just place your hands on your waist. Feet are hip width apart. and just begin to swirl. So imagine that hula hoop just swirling around. This is one of the basic movements of belly dancing, and I have a lovely yoga friend who teaches belly dancing, and she sometimes comes here. She said she might do it online for me. So if she does, and she also does the swirling of all the sort of the swirling. It is beautiful, and then swirl the other way. So if you're just giving hip fluidity. So we can tend to stiffen up in the hips. We often do hip exercises on the ground, but this is just a slightly different way of getting your hips to move. Now then, if you were doing belly dancing, it would be a very definite to one side, bend the knees back, swirl to the other side, stand up and start again. Side, bend, bottom away, swirl round and coming up. Now you'll notice when we do this, you kind of let your tummy go, and it's interesting that belly dancers have got that lovely fluid tummy that can just be super movable, just swirl the other way. And ballet dancers tend not to be, they tend to be very controlled in their abdominal tone and can't let go. They find it really upsetting to let it all hang out. So it's quite interesting on me. But you'll find this tradition in all parts of the world. There's Spanish, Moorish, kind of gypsy type Romanian tradition. They're so good at it. But then just very, very gently come to centre and then come back down to your chair. And just come to settle your feet comfortably hip width apart. And we're just going to move one energy centre up once more to the navel area. And this is a variation to a rotation. So I'm going to keep my left hand on my thigh, just open out my right hand, and turn my entire body as I look beyond my right thumb. Your chin just tucks down slightly. If you find that your arm out is too much, you can always bend your arm and place it on your waist. And come back to the centre. Slightly press your hands down to lengthen your spine and open the other hand out, turning. If opening your hand out is too much, it can be for some people, you can always bend your elbow and place your hand on your waist. And then just come back to the centre. The purpose of rotations is to realign your spine. You always lengthen your spine before you make any movement, and then you turn. So what it does is to stretch the muscles either side of your spine, and just everything about sitting and gravity, everything comes down. So that's a way of reversing that and realigning the spine. But from an endocrine or glandular viewpoint, the navel activates the digestive system. So you can, by a rotation, you are activating your digestive system. So we kind of leave that behind. And then we come slightly up to the heart area. And this is both a movement, it's a breath exercise because you coordinate your movement with your breath, and it's a meditation. So breathing in, open your arms to the side. Breathing out, bring your hands back to your chest. You can stay with your head upright or just chin to chest. Breathing in, open your arms out. You can open them right out, but a most restful position is generally elbows bent. And breathing out, bring your hands, it doesn't matter which goes on top of the other, chin to chest. Breathing in, opening out, and breathing in, breathing out, lowering chin to chest. This time as we breathe in, open out, bringing the hands chin to chest as well, in, and then breathing in, bringing your hands forward, and breathing out, bringing your hands back to your heart area. Breathing in, opening your arms, out, chin to chest. Breathing in, arms forward. And then breathing out, bring your arms back. Breathing in, opening your arms. Breathing out. Breathing in, arms forward. And then breathing out, bringing back. And then just lower your arms, your hands to your lap. They can be palms up or down, whatever suits you. And we're going to come now to the neck. So the neck, stating the obvious, is the bridge between the body and the head. But emotionally, it links with what our body does and what our emotions are, not necessarily in sync or in tune with our body. So what we're doing is not necessarily something we want to do, and that can cause a disconnect at the neck area. So there are many neck exercises. Some of the most simple and the most restful are simply to turn the head to one side as little or as much as you would like. And stay here as you breathe in and out. Bring your head back to the centre, and breathing out, just gently turn your head in the opposite direction as little or as much as you would like, and bringing your head back. Just once more, turning to the side, breathing out. Breathing in, come to the centre. And breathing out, turn your head to the other side. And breathing in, come to the centre. And we'll repeat that again. Breathing out, turn your head to one side. You're activating the thyroid and parathyroid. Bring your head back to the centre. And those two glands, or these two glands, control part of your metabolic function. Breathing out, turn your head to the other side. And come to the centre. This time, slightly lift your chin. You can look up with your eyes. And breathing out, lower your chin slightly towards your chest. The amount of movement is up to you. And once more, just practice lifting your chin slightly up. So these up-down movements activate the pineal and the pituitary glands. Breathing out, lower your chin slightly to your chest. And the pineal and the pituitary glands really are the master metabolic control. So neck movement is basically rebalancing your metabolic control, but it's also inviting your left and your right brain hemispheres to communicate with one another. So if we put all that all together, lifting your chin slightly up, lowering your chin slightly to the chest, bringing your head to the left, and coming through the centre as you bring your head to the right. Bring your head back to the centre. Breathing in, lifting your chin slightly up. Breathing out, lowering your chin towards your chest. Bringing your chin slightly up, and you can turn to the left. And bringing your chin to the centre as you turn to the right. And come to the centre. And last time as we lift the chin slightly up. Breathing out, lower the chin to the chest. Breathing in, coming to the centre and going slightly to the left. Coming to the centre and turning your head slightly to the right. And come to the centre. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then moving up again to the centre of the forehead, you'll feel a little dent. Use the palms of your hand, and just very gently circle in any way that you want to around that dent. So this is connecting to your energy centres, the chakra centres. This is the third eye, but it connects to the pineal gland really, and behind that you've got the pituitary. So it's very soothing for the forehead to rotate in one way. In Ayurveda, which is the sister science of yoga, they invite you to circle anti-clockwise to start with, to relieve negative energy, and then clockwise to reboot and re-energize the centre. But for our purposes, it really doesn't matter, just circling is very helpful. And then just release the hand. And then the final chakra that we're going to focus on our seated position is at the top of the head. So it's where the fontanelles are, where the sort of the bones of the skull meet. And classically in yoga, you would do a headstand or a shoulder stand. You can do a handstand, not great at those. But for our purposes, just hold your head. You can bend your elbows and just really press on the head, bring your elbows together and your head down. You can lift your head up, but it's quite nice just to press gently and almost cradle your head in your hands. You don't do this very often. Where your thumbs naturally align just above your ears, almost by your temples, if you press on that area with your thumbs, that is your ear chakra. It connects into our hearing and tinnitus, and so just pressing and releasing and pressing, releasing can be very, very helpful for hearing issues. And then just any dent in your skull is an acupressure point, and each little point connects into a brain function. So you can massage your head and it will have huge benefits. And then just release your hands and take the edge of the ear. So the ear, in a little bit like reflexology, connects into different parts of the brain. So you can just, with your thumb and your second finger bent, you can just slightly press the top of your ear and release. Move down, press and release. And where the ear is tender, so about midway down your ear correlates to here and then further down, and the base of your ear correlates further down. The top of your ear is your head. Where it's slightly sore, it correlates to your body. So you can just do it with both hands as well. And actually pulling your ears down, just massaging them, slightly pulling, again, affects the whole body. You can look up in an Ayurveda textbook which part of the ear reflects on which part of the body, but it is absolutely fascinating how our body is reflected. But also pulling down on the ear activates this little, I don't know what it's called, there is a name for it, this little bristly bit here, and that can help to with hearing and just opening up those hearing channels. But if you're also worried about hearing, then just underneath the jawline, that bit underneath the, dropping under the jaw, just that bit there, if you press that, that's not only, with both hands, it's not only hearing, but it's also eyes, strangely enough. Just press and release. So all these things that you can do for yourself. And if you follow your fingers along your hairline, where your skull meets the back of the neck, that connects into some really key points as well. Very soothing just to massage. We don't tend to do that. So Indian head massage very much works on all those little dents that you can feel. There are some further up. Anywhere on your head there's a dent, there are connecting into your brain. It's really quite interesting, and almost pulling your hair as well just can kind of activate those energy points. It can make you feel very alive and tingling. I always remember reading that, I think it was Rod Stewart liked his hair pulled for prophecy. He is very keen on his hair, but also for the medical, for the boosting effects on him. And then just very gently bring your hands down to your lap. You can do that anytime. And just taking a moment to breathe in and out. And we'll just finish with the same meditative movement. So breathing in, just opening the hands. Breathing out, bringing them back together at the heart center. Breathing in, opening. and breathing out, bringing back in, and breathing in, opening, and breathing out, bringing back in. And then drop your hands to your lap, palms are up, and imagine a lotus flower or your favourite flower in each hand. So as you breathe in, gently open your left hand fingers, stretch them out, opening your flower. And as you breathe out, just let the fingers close. You can carry on closing them to bring the thumb to close up into a bud, but just a natural close. Breathing in, open your right fingers, and breathing out, just let your fingers settle back, naturally closing. Breathing in as you open your left hand. Breathing out, let your flower, your lotus bud or your rose, whatever, close. Breathing in, opening your right fingers, and breathing out, let that close. And just carry on for a few breaths entirely in your own time. And when you're at home, you can do this at any point. And then just come to rest your hands. And now have a thought for the day, your sankalpa. So think or wish someone well. It could be yourself or someone in your life. Wish them well. And mentally think of that thought. And think of it a couple of times to set the intention for that person, for yourself, for whoever. Set the intention for the day. And now choose a colour, any colour that resonates with you today. And imagine that you're wrapping yourself in that colour like an auric egg, inside and out. You're imbued with the colour of your choice today. And that wrapping around is conferring protection on you for the rest of the day. It's allowing only positive things to come in. Nothing negative is allowed for the rest of the day and for the evening. And just gently take a very slight bow with your head for yourself, for the day ahead. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today.